Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment. And we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And this show right here is going to be a show that's going to have some people in their feelings, but I don't give a damn. We got to talk about it. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, for those of you who have been watching NBA, who've been following the NBA since the early 2000s, you will know that Nike has been really out there trying to promote LeBron. I think even in the year 2008, if I remember right, they were promoting this LeBron versus Kobe Bryant confrontation in the finals. They had the Nike puppets, right, where LeBron was talking to Kobe and all of that. So Nike has always been behind LeBron James. I think they gave him a $60 million or $90 million deal before he got into the NBA. So they've always supported him and to a certain extent protected him. Well, a number of years ago, well over a decade ago, I think this is when LeBron was in Miami or something like that. He was at a basketball shoot around. And while he was there, he was playing against NBA player. I don't know if he's still playing in NBA. I don't think he is. Jordan Crawford, where Jordan Crawford essentially put LeBron James in the rim when he dunked on him. And apparently this highlight was so damaging that Nike themselves opted to confiscate the tapes and basically ensured that no one on the internet would watch it. And I'm assuming it's probably after the 2011 finals, after he fell apart. I don't remember, but I'm thinking that's what it is. And it was one of those things where a lot of us were like, well, whatever happened to the tapes? Well, apparently, Jordan Crawford was on a podcast called TFU Podcast, where he was talking about this very thing. Now, I don't know if we can show the footage. We probably can. But I want you guys to take a look and listen to what he had to say about what Nike did when they decided to confiscate these tapes to basically save LeBron's legacy. Take a listen to this here.
No, I got him. But it had just, the camp had just started, and it was like probably the first game into us scrimmaging, so it had happened quick. But it was so much hype around it because it was the high school kids was in there. So when it happened, you can kind of tell it was a big deal, and I think that's what made Nike feel like they had to take the tapes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wait, Nike stole the tapes?
Yeah.
Do it?
I still got it out.
Are the tapes out there anywhere?
It's a cell phone version that's out on YouTube, but the tapes we actually need to get, talk to Nike and find out, because those tapes are somewhere hidden in the back cave somewhere.
That's crazy.
Come on,
we need
Nike.
to get those tapes. It's what? We 15 years later, man. We still don't know where
back there, they got Sasquatch tapes, alien footage, and the dunk on LeBron right next to that.
Caught him slipping.
So you heard what he had to say. Now, I know a lot of LeBron fans don't know this, especially the younger guys. They don't know this. They get a lot of what they think about LeBron from people like Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, all of these twerking ass websites and all of this stuff. They don't really know the full story. They don't know the backstory. All they know is most of them just know what they saw from 2015, 16, and beyond. They don't know what went down in the early days. If y'all knew, y'all would have a different opinion. If y'all knew. Now, the saddest part about this is the older guys that do know, some of them are not letting y'all know that. They just up there twerking it up for y'all on a daily basis. Why? Because they're trying to get in your pockets. They trying to get in your pocket, so they up there parroting and promoting this nonsense because they know it's what gets them paid. It's going to get them paid. They're trying to ingratiate themselves with the younger fan base because they want to grow with y'all. And then if that means they have to lie to y'all and distort history and reality to do so, so be it. But those of us who are old enough who remember all of this, we know. And I think this happened after I think it was after the finals. I think so. I don't remember when exactly. It definitely wasn't during his second stint in Cleveland. I think it was during his Miami days. I think so. I don't think people realize how bad it was then. People like to try to make that Miami y'all don't realize how much of a debacle that Miami saga was. When they first formed that team, you had a guy that had just led the league in scoring in Dwayne Wade the year before LeBron joined, although his team was ass the year before. He had led the league in scoring. You had a 20-10 guy who was leading his team to the playoffs every year, it seemed like, in Chris Bosh. And then you had a young phenom in LeBron James come together to form this super team. And they were meant to go on to win 55,000 championships, right? And in the first year of these guys getting together, they absolutely collapsed in the NBA Finals. And LeBron cost D Wade a title. He cost him a championship. Most of y'all don't even know that D Wade led that team in scoring all throughout the playoffs. Some of y'all don't even know that. And in the aftermath of those finals, it was the lowest moment in LeBron's career because he had just done the decision, which was a disaster, like a debacle. Then he had what occurred in the finals, and then he was walking around with the shirt, check my stat. It was bad. Like, it was really, really bad. And then they bounced back. I think they won against OKC. Then they beat the Spurs with that crazy three-point clutch shot that Ray Allen hit, I think, to force it to Game 7, if my memory serves me right. And then they came back the next year because the Spurs wanted revenge, and the Spurs felt like they should have beat the Heat. They came back the next year, I'm talking about the Spurs, and beat them by the widest margin in the history of basketball. The wide, let me. There hasn't been a worse beatdown than what LeBron and the Heat suffered in the finals ever. No team has lost by that record of them. It was a total disaster. So those 4 years in Miami weren't all cakes and pies, baby. And I think this clip, if my memory serves me right, I think this occurred then or it could have been in his early days in clip. I don't remember when. But I remember this story. And I remember because back then social media wasn't really a thing. It was very, very hard to find these tapes. It was, you even hear him there, Jordan Crawford talking about, to this day, I don't even know where all the full footage is. But then again, we can believe what we heard from him. Why? Because we just did a show not too long ago watching son get stripped by a freaking college kid in China, wherever it was, a 13, 15-year-old, whatever the hell it was, and get dunked on. We saw him throwing up, building the Great Wall of China out there in China the other day when he was throwing up all those bricks. So this is not outside the realm of possibilities. But I know some of y'all don't know this. Some of y'all see, what's happened is Kobe's ass is in the public. Everybody done seen his ass. Everybody done seen Michael Jordan's ass and all of his stories and all of this and the scandals and all of. We ain't seen LeBron yet. We done seen everybody else. And people done formed their opinions about all these people. We ain't seen his stories yet. Welcome to reality. There's a lot more to the story. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.